Welcome to Andrew Sitt. Welcome to the Life Sciences Summit 2025 virtual pitch night, pitch day, I should say. I'm Zach Storms from Startup TNT.
I'm Andrew Erickson from Applied Pharmaceutical Innovations.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to have everyone here today. We're really excited to be hosting you. Andrea and I practiced that a little bit. We didn't
Yeah,
quite know.
I was so mesmerized by the music that when you had your hand signal for "and we're live," I was too entrenched in the song.
All right. Well, here we are. Listen, Andrew and I have been hosting, or I should say, API and I have been hosting a life sciences summit for the last 4 years. And this is a really special one. It's Andrea's first time co-hosting with me, but it is also the first time we made this national. And we've got companies from across the entire country joining us today. And I got to say, they've really raised the bar for the pitches at the event, Andrea, haven't they?
Yeah, they've really raised the bar, and we're really excited to hear the presentations today and what everyone's come with such good ideas to the table.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the pitches today. And, there's one other special thing about what we've done with this summit, Andrea, and that is the finale event in September is being integrated into Life Sciences Week, an entire week of life sciences activities initiated by API. Andrea, tell us a little bit about what's happening during Life Sciences Week.
Yeah, so Life Sciences Week is an Alberta-wide event, and it's September 22nd to 26th. So almost a month away. Who's counting? Definitely me because I'm project managing it. But there's basically the idea is that events will be hosted by API, but also like partners all over the province. And the idea is that people can celebrate life science innovations and have a platform to do so. So we hope that the event kicks off and that you check out the webpage. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, please do, Andrea. And we hope that some of you that are tuning in from across the country might consider making the trip out here for a few days, not just for our finale, but for the entire Life Sciences Week, or at least parts of it. It really is a pretty awesome opportunity to see what's happening here in Alberta. Okay, well, listen, we're here to listen to 21 amazing pitches, so I think we should get into that. I might recommend everybody say a quick hello in the Zoom chat. Who are you? Where are you from? What are you here for? As I set up a short little presentation for Andrew and I to go over to set the stage here. Okay, we're going to start formally with the program using a land acknowledgement. We begin by acknowledging that we are gathered on the traditional territories of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island. We recognize the knowledge, healing practices, and stewardship of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis communities, whose contributions continue to shape how we care for our health and environment. As we come together to advance life sciences in Canada, we do so with respect and gratitude for their wisdom, past, present, and future. And speaking of life sciences, take a look at the 21 companies pitching today. These companies are literally from coast to coast, and they represent the broad spectrum of life sciences startups doing things everywhere from therapeutics and drug development to diagnostic platforms to medical devices, even to analytical or new manufacturing tools to help life sciences research. And I'm really looking forward to enjoying presentations from these 21 companies in 66 minutes or less. But keep in mind, this is not just a single pitch event. This is the kickoff of about a 7-week process where a group of investors commits money upfront and then works as a syndicate, as a team to collaborate and conduct diligence on these companies together. They're meeting one-on-one and in small groups over the next few weeks. And the goal is to select a minimum of one company for investment at the finale on September 24th. So the pre-committed amount of money from each investor goes to that winner, which again is going to be part of Life Sciences Week here in Edmonton. However, these are real investors. These are real companies. The goal is to support the founders, support the community, help out any way we can. And we often see more than one company raising money. And we've got such a great group of companies that have come here today. Many of them are going to be raising rounds with or without Startup TNT over the next few months. I think they're giving us all a reason to spend more time investing in life sciences. Okay, let's take a little quick trip down memory lane. Where did Startup TNT come from? Well, it was a sunny day back in May of 2019 that I said to my wife, for my 35th birthday, I would like to host a surprise birthday party for myself and call it Thursday Night Tradition and bring together founders and investors and everyone to try and support the community here in Edmonton just to have fun, make friends, and build companies. And we started doing that weekly. We've been doing it for 325 weeks. This is week 325. It's pretty crazy to think that through. And we've met many of the people that are part of Startup TNT at our happy hour, at our meetup. That's where I met my co-founder, Tim Lin. That's where we met many of our great team members that are here today helping us put on this event. But really the goal is to raise money for founders, raise money for startups, get more Canadians investing in Canadian tech. And we've now raised almost $20 million from 500 investors for nearly 120, I guess around 115 companies, according to our math here. It's hard to keep track. Many of them are life sciences, and all the ones here today, of course, are life sciences. But as an organization, we actually invest in a wide spectrum of startups from Western Canada and now across the country. And we can't do it alone. We're big believers in the power of community. Our investors collaborate together to conduct diligence. We collaborate with many partners to bring everyone together. Some of them I'm showing you here that have been supporting us for many, many years now. We'll give them shout outs throughout the night. I do want to just share that for this particular summit, we met a lot of new partners. I know that some of them actually signed up and joined the call that helped refer great companies to us. And I look forward to working with them throughout the next few years to continue supporting the entire Canadian life sciences startup community. But hey, we do this together with API, the co-host for our event here today. And Andrea, why don't we tell the group a little bit about API's origin story and what they're all about?
Yeah, so hi everyone. Applied Pharmaceutical Innovation. So I guess to the next slide. I don't think can I control the slide, Zach?
You cannot. I have to be your slide controller.
Okay. Yeah, so API, we're a not-for-profit, which is a very unique business model because we also are doing a critical drug manufacturing facility. So the idea is when we're done, the facility that will basically could supply, like to give an idea of volume, enough vaccines for all of Canada within 90 days. The idea is when we build that out at the end of next year, then those proceeds we can invest back into the ecosystem, things like Startup TNT, other kinds of events. And so we have that as a business model. We also have like consulting services that we offer on clinical trial or like product management. And then we have labs and incubator services. That's the portfolio that I primarily work on. So yes, we do startup support, kind of what I was mentioning before, for our core activities, and we do have a footprint down in Calgary too with BioHub X. We have that building as well down there. Next slide. And through like our partnerships, we have 75 different industry projects that we support. And then the startups and scale-ups are through like our basically arm of business that's helping quantitative solutions or clinical trials. And then we're creating like value for the companies through the support that we're providing. And we have staff in Vancouver, Montreal, like we're all over Canada with like our support services and even our business development guys like out of Eastern Canada. So yeah, happy to be here today and to support what Zach and Startup TNT are doing.
All right, thank you, Andrea. Okay, well, this brings us to the main event. Always be pitching. We're about to listen to 21 pitches. They have 3 minutes to pitch. We're not going to do questions, but we do encourage you to ask questions or spark conversation in the chat, which can continue throughout the program. Cheer on these presenters. They're here. It takes a lot it can be intimidating to speak in front of a large audience. We've got some really impressive science, really impressive founders we're hearing from today. And just remember that it takes a large community to support and build the Canadian life sciences ecosystem that we want. It's on all of us to do our part to make it world-class and keep it going. So keep that in mind and let the pitches begin.
So without further ado, the first pitch today will be ImageSight Technologies, and Sam, that is you.
Sam hails from Vancouver, and he's participated in the Life Sciences Investment Readiness Program at Life Sciences BC, as well as the entrepreneurship programs at the University of British Columbia. Sam, take it away.
All right, thank you for the intro. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sam Berryman, CEO and co-founder of ImageSight Technologies. I'm here today to talk about microplates. Now, unless you worked in a research lab, there's a good chance you've never heard of a microplate before. What you need to know is that there are hundreds of millions of microplates made every single year. And more importantly, market reports describe them as the workhorse of innovation across the life sciences, which is because just about every drug, vaccine, and cell discovery made in the past 50 years, it started in a microplate. So these microplates are the carriers that we put cells into to be observed. We use them to hold and run our experiments. Unfortunately, what we end up with is actually a bit of a chaotic mess, which is pretty tricky to unravel. See, biology happens at the individual cell level, which is why that's what scientists really want to study. But they can't. At ImageSight, we are making this possible by providing tiny wells as small as the cells we want to study. This is going to allow scientists to make more complex and meaningful observations. We like to say that this is going to change the resolution of cell research as we know it. And our device looks like this. It's a standard format the scientists are already familiar with. But now, instead of 96 wells, they're getting up to 3 million. And I want to highlight that this is a transformative technology that changes the way we study cells. It solves a major cell isolation problem seen in existing products that are trying to do what we do. And we have a rapid path to market with our beta program already started. And this is also a patent-protected technology. As a basic tool of research, it can often be difficult to connect this with its downstream impact on global health. But make no mistake, these can be used for cancer research and diabetes and studying the next vaccine and developing stem cells. And. It is a universal tool with widespread downstream impact across global health. We have a rapid go-to-market strategy. Today, we have a late beta product that is close to commercial launch. We've kicked off the beta program and we're currently working on expanding it. We're going to leverage the success of the beta program to open our first raise needed to expand our team and scale up our manufacturing. This is going to allow us to launch in 2026 and start working on distribution agreements with strategics to go after global reach. Today, you have the opportunity to invest in a built-in Canada manufacturing company with a patented foundation that solves a critical problem seen in existing products and enables new ways of studying cells. And as a preclinical research product, there is no regulatory process required. That means we're going after first revenue within 1 year, and we're aiming to break even in 2. Thank you for your time, and reach out if you have any questions.
Look at that, Sam. Right on time. Thank you so much. Strong start. Very cool technology. Thank you, Sam, from ImageSight.
Yeah, and then very good, Sam. Next presentation is Head First. Andrew, your turn to show us your company.
All right.
All right. Andrew comes from Kitchener, and he's participated in the Velocity program at the University of Waterloo, Innovation Factory, and Communitech. Welcome, Andrew.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Andrew Kortson-David, CEO of Head First, where we have developed a new way to accurately test for concussions in under 15 minutes with only a few drops of saliva. As a former university and major junior hockey player, I suffered from multiple concussions from big hits and fights. And more often than not, the sideline test failed to detect them, which led to long-term symptoms that I used to experience every single day. And I'm not alone. Approximately 50% of concussions go undetected. A second concussion can be deadly, and the cost of TBI in the United States exceeds $60 billion. Athletic therapists cannot accurately detect concussions on the sidelines. Today's tools are subjective, and you basically just talk to the athlete, leaving trainers frustrated and forced to guess, often missing diagnoses. Now imagine if we could reduce the number of deadly undetected concussions by nearly 100%. That's exactly what we're doing. We're removing the guesswork with the first ever objective sideline concussion test that delivers accurate results in minutes, giving trainers the tool they've been asking for. When a concussion is suspected, athletes provide a quick saliva sample to our device and it will rapidly deliver results, positive or negative, within minutes, all while fitting into existing sideline protocols. We built our numbers bottom up. Globally, it's a $90 billion opportunity, and we're starting with 1.2 billion beachhead in organized adult sports, a market that's desperate for a solution and ready to adopt today. Today's tests either miss concussions or they just take too long. We're the first solution that's accurate, rapid, non-invasive, and truly built for sideline concussion detection. Earlier this year, our research launched. It earned over 20 million impressions in just 2 weeks and caught the attentions of customers globally. As a direct result, we've secured an LOI that represents a 15 million yearly opportunity. Olympic committees and professional sports teams reached out wanting to purchase our device. We have research and pilots underway, and new LOIs are coming in each month as momentum builds. Our team is equipped for success. I have a background in sales and finance. My co-founder is a 3-time founder, and our advisors have led biosensor exits and novel biologic development. We're raising $2.25 million to put our device in the hands of customers through pilots, completing our FDA pre-submission, and finalizing our commercial device for clinical trials. Now imagine a world where playing the game you love does not cost you your future. That is the world that Headfirst is building. Thank you.
Well done, Andrew. Under time, nice presentation, very interesting technology. And on a personal note, your advisor there, Mark Aucoin, once organized a conference that I gave a presentation at back when I
look at that.
was
Small world, very small one.
Full circle.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Andrew. Next presenter is Holo Medical, and that is Sarah.
Sarah comes from Halifax, and Holo Medical's participated in Volta, CDL, and the InnovaCore Accelerator. Take it away, Sarah. Sarah, I think you might still be on mute. We can't hear you.
Rookie mistake. Here I am.
Okay, yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Go back to your first slide and start over.
Absolutely. Thank you. Here I am. As I was saying, I am the CEO and co-founder of Holo Medical. At Holo, we've encountered children like Sophia many times. She's 6 years old and she was diagnosed with asthma. This year alone, she's been to the ER over 3 times, and there she was prescribed with a common puffer as well as with a valved holding chamber, which is this big device that is taking up most of her face. The thing about these devices is that they're essential, they're recommended to everyone, but because they're so bulky and embarrassing, only 10% of patients actually use one, meaning that more patients end up back at the hospital and missing the things that they love doing in life. They're a necessity because the inhaler alone blasts the medication at 100 kilometers per hour, leaving that dose in your mouth and your throat. But the chamber actually traps the medication and delivers it to the lungs where it is needed. So with this in mind, we wanted to create something that helps the patient as well as their illness. And after interviewing over what is now 1,000 patients and experts, we've learned that no one wants to carry something the size of a thermos, but everyone carries a cell phone in their pocket every day. So the Holo chamber is pocket size. It is customizable to empower patients to use it every day. It can be put in the dishwasher and it can be disassembled in one step. And unlike anything that is currently on the market, our flow control system doesn't rely on technique or indicators, which can often be confusing, but they deliver the dose properly every single time, reducing medication waste and providing relief with each breath. Our core team is founded by Dr. David Hudson and myself. I have a background in medical device engineering. And we have our support, the support of our clinical advisory board, where at the head is Dr. Gardenhire. He is the author of the leading textbook on the pharmacology of respiratory care. This is a growing opportunity, especially due to the results of COVID-19. We're on track to be on the shelves in 2026, and our initial focus is on patients in North America. We have a letter of intent with a national distributor who can give us access to patients who currently use chambers, but especially to those who should. Thank you. Once again, this is Sarah from Holo Medical Respiratory Medicine Reimagined.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. You guys are running a tight show right now, keeping it under 3 minutes. Thanks so much, Sarah. Great presentation. Andrea, who's up next?
Yeah, so we have Jennifer, and that's from LMD. I hope I'm saying that right.
Jennifer and LMD come from New Minas, Nova Scotia. They participate in Volta Labs program, Creative Destruction Labs, and Innovate Nova Scotia's Accelerate program. Go for it, Jennifer.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
You're sounding good.
Okay. Thanks for having me. My story starts a few years ago. I was actually getting ready for a soccer game. I was putting on my jersey and realized I couldn't actually feel it. In fact, I couldn't feel the entire left side of my body. 4 days later, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It turns out my long-term use of hormonal contraception may have had something to do with it. So I'm Jennifer Johnston, family physician and founder of LMD Biotechnologies, a company dedicated to empowering women to access safe, reliable contraception without the use of hormones. So evolving research shows that hormonal contraception actually has a staggering list of downstream effects. These range from nutrient deficiency to loss of libido to stroke, breast cancer, autoimmune disease, and depression. Now, at the time of my diagnosis, I had 4 young kids and desperately needed some birth control once again. But with hormones off the table, my options were either less effective, caused other side effects like painful periods, or required surgery. There's actually nothing on the market today that I would want my own daughters using. So that's why we started developing the Better Ring. It's a non-hormonal vaginal ring that uses the proven spermicidal effect of copper, is placed just once per month, so no daily pill, and is completely user-controlled, so no painful procedure. And the contraceptive market is on track to hit 50 billion by 2030, yet more than 250 million women around the world still lack access. This isn't just a gap, it's one of the biggest untapped opportunities in women's health. And we're trying to lay the groundwork to lead that. So far, we have a published patent, and we found a copper dose that was both safe and effective in a small sheep study. We now plan to start our first in-human study by next summer. And because we're considered a device in Canada, we also have an accelerated regulatory path, cutting our time to market by 2 to 4 years. Our model is straightforward. We can get the cost down to $5 per ring and plan to sell for a target price in line with current options today. And I'm excited to do this with my amazing team of dedicated world-class experts. In addition to this team, we're also working with the Contraception Research Branch at the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, who have been overwhelmingly supportive. We're now raising $1 million for our first in-human study, and we have about 3/4 of that committed. Melinda Gates has said that contraception is the most life-saving, poverty-reducing, women-empowering innovation ever created. But it has to be safe. It's time to invest in our wives, our sisters, our daughters, and in all the women and girls around the world who deserve better. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. What a great presentation to end the first block of companies. Really impressive founders here today, guys. This has been fantastic. Now, Andrea, before we go to the next group of companies, I'd like to take a moment to give a little shout out to our sponsors. So let me pull them up for everybody. But let's talk about our best friend sponsors, MNP and Edmonton Unlimited. So M&P has the largest number of private company clients of any accounting firm in Canada, which is why we have such a great relationship. Many of our founders work with M&P. They offer a tech-focused practice with partners from around the country, offering the full suite of accounting and financial services. And on top of that, many of their partners actually participate as investors with us, putting their own money into the companies that we support. Thank you for all your support, M&P. And Edmonton Unlimited, our local, based here in Edmonton, it's our local startup catalyzer. They support founders here in our hometown from all walks of life. And this September, they will be playing host to Life Sciences Week for a full day event that Andrea is working hard to coordinate. I hope many of you can come join us the third week of September to check out all the different things happening at Life Sciences Week and get a taste for Alberta's life sciences community with our friends at Edmonton Unlimited. All right, that's it, Andrea. Let's go to the next presentation.
Yeah, so we have next up is JVP Labs. Michael, you're up next.
I'm just doing it now. Tell me I did that right.
Yeah, welcome, Michael from JVP.
Great.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Did I do that right?
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah, now you're in presenter mode. Perfect.
Yeah,
Great.
now you're in presenter mode. Okay,
Feel like-
Michael from St. John's, who's been to the MTD2 program out of Boston. You're all set to take it away. Go ahead.
Great. Thanks very much. I feel like I'm going after a commercial back in the day. So for those who will not remember that. So JVP, we've developed a medical device to target the largest medical market in the United States, Canada, and globally. Our target market, to give you an understanding of what we're targeting here, is in the $108 billion range globally, $30 billion to the U.S. healthcare system. The three things that we've identified is that the length of stay in a hospital for congestive heart failure is anywhere between 3 and 14 days. Another problem that exists is that 50% of patients are discharged when they're still congested. And the final piece, which is the financial piece most to Canada and the US, is that 25% of these people who are discharged get bounced back into hospital in an inappropriate fashion. What's the impact to this as a Canadian and US-based hospital system? Inpatient stay on average for CHF patients cost a hospital about $3,500 if you're in the US from a profit perspective. The 25% of the patients that bounce back into hospital within that 30-day time frame costs on average of about $13,500. So in essence, congestive heart failure in the US is an unprofitable business to be in. So why is this? One of the big keys to measure quantify fluid levels in a patient with CHF is cardiac filling pressures. And cardiac filling pressures are the key to treating these patients both in and out of hospital. If you're a cardiologist, you have a pretty good understanding of how to measure cardiac filling pressures by a thing used by JVP, jugular venous pressure height. If you're not a cardiologist, you have difficulty in quantifying the level of JVP height and therefore have difficulty in managing in a non-invasive way a patient's cardiac filling pressure. So how does a cardiologist do it? And the cardiologist, what they do is as a heart fills up or as congestion builds up around the heart, it starts to compress. The blood flowing back into the heart starts to slow down and stop. And when the heart compresses, it causes that backed up vein or blood in that vein, the internal jugular vein, to pulsate. So if cardiologists see that pulsation and the height of that pulsation, and that is directly correlated to the level of congestion. It's how a cardiologist manages patients and understanding how to treat them with more diuretics, different drugs, or different methodologies. So in the case of a non-cardiologist, which is about 80% of the patients that treat congestive heart failure, they can't get that. What we do is we provide the capability to identify, quantify, and trend JVP levels over time. Our device sits on the sternal notch. It takes an image of the neck and it provides, I won't go into the graphic, academic details about this, but what you can see, oops, sorry, I'm going to go back. How do I, there we go. Sorry. I won't describe this, but as a physician, it identifies different components of the vasculature, and you can identify where the JVP height is. This is automatically identified as a height, integrated into the EMR, and you can identify and trend the level of the JVP height, therefore the level of congestion.
Michael, you just over 3 minutes.
Oh,
just so you know.
Quickly
You
go
watch
through
these,
this. My
like, wrap up
apologies.
your
Yeah.
thoughts for us. Maybe you
We
can
have KOLs from Mayo supporting us. We have GE and Transform Health. We have a great team. What we're trying to do here is $1.6 million in pilot study, $2 million generation one. I apologize. Sorry. I had a cat yapping in back here and I lost track.
That's all right. We got an in-depth view in the technology on this one, Michael. And I think everybody's hooked. It's really impressive. You're a great speaker. Thanks so much.
Sorry.
So the next speaker up is Magneta MR, Heather.
All right, Magneta MR is from right here in Edmonton. Hometown entrepreneurs. They've participated in the ICE Incubator at the U of A and the Innovation Highway at NAIT. Go ahead, Heather.
Thank you. I just want to begin with a quick story. Alana McDonald, a 42-year-old mom from Newfoundland, was thrown into an absolute nightmare when it took 2 years for her to receive an MRI after the onset of severe migraines, vision disturbances, and facial numbness. After that long wait, of course, the news was devastating. Doctors found a 3-centimeter tumor in her brain. Had it been detected earlier, she might have avoided the long, arduous road to recovery, but instead she faced a grueling and risky 16-hour operation filled with fear and uncertainty about her future. And unfortunately, her experience is not unique. And of course, while rapid access to MRI can save lives and improve outcomes, traditional systems come with a hefty price tag and require highly specialized infrastructure and personnel. But that's where we come in. My partner and co-founder, Dr. Aaron Purchase, is a physicist with over 10 years of experience in portable MRI. We're developing and hold a provisional patent on the world's first full-body portable MRI designed to be accessible to those who need it right now. Plus, improving access isn't just beneficial for people, it can also bring about a significant economic advantage. In a recent pilot study, an ultra-low field portable brain MRI was deployed in remote Moose Factory, Ontario. This system alone provided accurate imaging and saved over $850,000 in healthcare costs in 20 months for just 50 patients, and is projected to save $8 million over the course of 5 years. So just imagine the difference that a full body scanner could make. Our system is designed for clinics that have minimal infrastructure. It operates on standard household power, weighs just 250 kilograms, and is incredibly easy to set up. You just plug it in and you're good to go. Now, the global MRI market is expected to reach $17.5 billion by 2030. And what's interesting is that there's also a rising demand in the vet sector, with the vet market growing at around 7 to 8% and very few facilities currently offering MRI services. We're not competing for an existing market share. Instead, we're opening access to markets that are totally underserved. So our strategy is to roll out our tech in vet hospitals first and then expand into human health as we meet regulatory requirements. We are well prepared to begin this project. I myself bring over 13 years experience in academic research admin, strategic initiatives, and organizational development. And Dr. Purchase has an incredibly impressive background with experience designing MRI systems intended for the International Space Station and leading portable neonatal MRI development at Harvard Medical School. We're looking to raise $1.1 million to expand our team, complete our prototype, kick off the regulatory approval process, and start early deployment in the vet sector. Thank you for your time. We're hoping that you'll join us in transforming diagnostic imaging and making top-notch MRI tech available to everyone, no matter where they are.
All right, thank you, Heather. Very nice looking slide deck. Thank you for the presentation. Well done.
Next up, we have MH Combiotic and Ali. Over to you.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Ali Sia, co-founder of MH Combiotic. We are an antimicrobial discovery company. see if it's right. All right. You might know people, they have open wounds for weeks or even months. This can get even worse, amputation. Every 30 seconds, one amputation happening in just US, and 50% of these patients are dying. The main reason is infection, especially in the biofilm form. Biofilm is a dense community of bacteria sitting on the wound side, delays wound recovery whenever it finds chance, spread around and cause septicemia and death for the patients. Available method is debridement, sharp, it's very aggressive, painful, and time consuming. Imagine every day 1 to 2 million debridement happening just US. So it's a big problem. Our solution is Combatic platform. We screen over 18,000 formulation over the last 3 years to find the optimal solution. Basically how it works, we have 2 products. First step, it's irrigation solution, applying on the wound side. It takes 5 minutes to take off biofilm and debris from the wound side. When the wound is clean, second step, hydrogel, prevents infection, and not only that, accelerate wound healing. By having this technology, healthcare centers can prevent systemic infection and amputation, and patients they can use at home to manage and change or their own dressing and wound. We have so many advantages, like it's very cost effective, dose effective. We have comprehensive IP protection. We have proven that low feature resistant AMR or antimicrobial resistant chance. Because we own the core technology, we can expand to other markets. This is all natural, not only non-toxic, it has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties to faster wound recovery. We have 3 pipelines. For the wound care, we are about to submit our 510(k) application, hoping to have approvals by Q1 next year. 2 other pipeline, respiratory infection, sepsis, huge problems. We are in preclinical stages. So far, we got third-party validation for safety and efficacy of the technology. We secured our ISO and MDSAP. We had 2 pre-submission meetings with FDA, several scientific publications, 3 patents, 2 trade secret and trademarks around the technology, secure over 1 million grant funding and several other awards. We have strategic partners, both local and international. They came in, invest both cash and in kind, and hopefully after approval, they are helping us with manufacturing and distribution of the technology. We have open round. We have some soft commitment. This round will help us to have access to market for our topical product and reimbursement study. In our team, I'm working over 15 years on AMR, several awards in the space. Professor Turner is global leader in metalloid antimicrobials. Majid launched over 10 years help launching product for big pharma. We have advisors from Harvard, Pfizer, BioNTech, and previous CEO of only publicly traded biofilm company from Canada. Thank you so much by helping us help to save people's life. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ali. Great presentation. And I heard a rumor that you're giving another presentation later today as part of Halo Health Live down at Platform Calgary. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm doing.
All right. Well, if you're based in Calgary, go support Ali at Platform Calgary this evening. It'll be a really fun event hosted by our friends at Halo Health.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we have David with Modulari T Bioscience.
This is a tough one to pronounce. I thought it was Modularity from Montreal. They've graduated from Y Combinator, CDL, and Mars. So we're expecting a presentation that is absolutely out of this world. Take it away.
Oh my, the pressure is on. Well, Zach, Andrea, thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm David White, CEO and co-founder of Modularity, where we use our unique protein engineering approach to unlock the next generation of cell and gene therapy. So today, the leading cell and gene therapy is called CAR-T. So it allows us to engineer our immune system to recognize and kill cancer cells. But making CAR-T is a lengthy and complex process. We need to harvest a patient's blood, isolate the immune cells. We ship that to a manufacturing facility. It receives the genetic editing vector from a second facility. We put that together. We can now engineer CAR-T cells and send it to the patient, but that takes weeks. However, CAR Ts had dramatic improvement on the outcome for patients with leukemia and lymphoma, and generated sales of over $4.5 billion last year. However, it does also have some safety profile issues. Combine that with the complex manufacturing, only 1 in 5 eligible patients is going to receive CAR T. And so that leaves most of them without access to the life-saving therapy. So to unlock the other 80% of the market and give every patient a chance, Modularity has developed a new system to make CAR T safe and scalable. So to do that, we had 2 components. First, an improved gene editing vector, the MOVE, that can be administered directly to patient without the need for offsite cell manufacturing. The vector is simple to manufacture and scalable. The second component is the gene that our vector will deliver to immune cell to reprogram them, the MARC. The MARC is engineered to better mimic natural immune signaling. And so that gives us fewer toxic side effects and a longer, more persistent response. So as I told you, this is a therapy that we can just make and deliver directly to patient. And so in this experiment, we used a mouse model of leukemia, and we injected these mice with our vector that went in to their immune cells, modified them with our MARC gene to recognize and kill leukemia cell. And we observed a strong and safe immune response that destroyed the cancer. And that works so well because this gene that we use, the MARC, is better at leading an immune response compared to the chimeric antigen receptors that are standard of care right now. Also, they're safer and don't produce as much of the toxic inflammatory immune cytokines. And so it allows us to better dose patients. Now, we are a founder-led company with deep technical expertise in cell and gene therapy, but we have the support of world-leading experts that have developed and commercialized the first generations of CAR T. And so to advance our program and build partnerships around our MOVE and MARC technologies, we're now raising the first tranche of our seed round for $2 million. So I thank you for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you afterwards.
Well, thank you, David. Excellent presentation. Very, very cool science you guys are building at Modularity. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Next presenter, we have Modulate, Emeric. Hopefully I said your first name right.
Yeah, here's another Montreal company that's graduated from Centec, CTS, Santé, and CDL. Take it away, Emeric.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, Emeric is perfect. So yeah, my name is Emeric. I'm co-founder and CEO of Modulate. More than 1 billion people worldwide suffer from some sort of spinal disorders, with in some cases major impacts on quality of life and productivity. And with aging populations, the need for treatment will double in the next 25 years. It's a big societal burden, but still treatments are inadequate. An example of this is scoliosis, a spinal deformity that affects 3% of children and over half of people over 65. The most common treatment for scoliosis is to wear a brace, a rigid orthosis that aims to control the spinal deformation to avoid an extremely invasive spinal fusion surgery. Yet, 1/4 of orthotics treatments fail, partly due to a lack of compliance and effectiveness. Why? Because these orthoses are still made using outdated artisanal methods, requiring hours of manual molding by specialized orthotists. And throughout treatment, follow-ups are too infrequent, delays are too long, and communication between patients and care teams is insufficient. At Modulate, we're revolutionizing the treatment of spinal disorders through digital, ultra-personalized care. We've developed the Invisalign of spinal orthosis. So using standard clinical images, our algorithms combine biomechanical simulations, AI, and 3D printing to automatically generate spinal orthoses that are precisely optimized for each individual. We equip our orthoses with sensors to continuously connect patients with their care teams, enhancing patient engagement, follow-up quality, and clinic efficiency. And at the core of our technology is our patient-specific physics engine that fuels our automation platform via simulations of brace correction and patient growth to evaluate clinical performance digitally. Our technology was built on over 30 years of scientific research, and each step of the process has been validated on patient cohorts, including a randomized control trial we recently published in high-impact journals. So we begin our commercialization by improving scoliosis treatments in children, selling our orthoses to established clinics. These orthoses will then connect with our remote monitoring and clinical management software services, then be expanded to other underexploited indications like adult deformities, lower back pain, and osteoporosis. And to date, we've obtained regulatory approvals in the US and Canada, where we have secured our first insurance reimbursed sales. We also secured our core IP and developed significant collaborations with pilot clinics, testing sites, and other tech and manufacturing partners in North America and Europe. We're three very complementary founders working closely with key opinion leaders and a great network of advisors. And today we're raising $2 million Canadian to finalize our product launch and accelerate our initial commercial phase. Thank you for helping us personalize orthopedic treatments for better quality of care.
Well, thank you, Amérique Guy, and reminding us how to pronounce properly in French. Great presentation. Okay, Andrea, I think we're up to our next little break, are we not?
Yeah, we're up to our sponsor shout out number 3.
Sponsor shout out 3. It's actually sponsor shout out 2. It's not labeled correctly, but that's all right. Let's hear from our sponsors. Even if it sounds old fashioned, it's a lot of fun. The audience needs a little break here. And some of these sponsors have been with us from our very early days. For example, CBRE, the global leader in commercial real estate services and investments. Entrepreneurs sometimes think they're too small to benefit from a real estate broker, but the CBRE team can show you why it pays to work with an expert, and they have a soft spot for helping life sciences deals find laboratory space, and they've been one of our supporters since 2020. Thank you for all the support, CBRE. And Osler, the #1 law firm in Canada for M&A deals. These guys know term sheets. They're the #1 by both volume and deal value, but they also know other aspects of corporate law. In fact, they just helped us with some advice on corporate structuring. Check out our friends at Osler. They have offices around the country. And then a local organization from Alberta, Alberta Enterprise Corporation. Since its creation in 2008, Alberta Enterprise Corporation has catalyzed over $1.1 billion in direct investment into Alberta technology companies. And they have been a supporter for Startup TNT since our very first investment summit. They reached out to us back in 2019, and we are just one of many local initiatives that they have helped seed and launch here in our Alberta community. So thank you, Alberta Enterprise Corporation. And that's it for now, Andrea. Let's get back to the presentations.
Awesome. Zach, you could have a future in like radio commercial.
Well, I'm trying to keep it fresh just in case things go south for me. You always have to have a backup.
I love it. Okay, next presenter is Bronwyn from Pragma Clin Research.
Okay. Pragma Clin from St. John's has graduated from Volta, the Genesis Center, and the Memorial Center for Entrepreneurship. Take it away, Pragma Clin.
Perfect. You can hear me okay?
Looking good. It sounded good.
Wonderful. And you can see everything okay? Perfect.
Yeah, you are good to go.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. My name is Bronwyn Bridges, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Pragma Clin. We are transforming the way that movement disorders like Parkinson's are assessed and managed, because right now the system is failing patients, clinicians, and researchers alike. Parkinson's affects over 10 million people globally and is the fastest growing neurological disorder. But yet, we see that 40% of those patients diagnosed are also not seeing a neurologist at all. And current assessments are subjective, episodic, and also resource intensive, where patients are being monitored in these systems that are overburdened and not receiving the care that they need. PRIMS is our AI-powered software that is able to quantify 35 motor and non-motor symptoms objectively and contactlessly in under 10 minutes. Competitors are leaning on wearables or manual tools right now, while PRIMS is delivering remote-ready, AI-validated precision without the hardware friction. And this matters because, as we've seen, the FDA and others are increasingly questioning wearables for the lack of clinical evidence, which is exactly what we're currently validating and delivering on. Our automation of our system can cut clinicians' time by up to 50% and save healthcare systems $1 to $2 billion annually in just the Parkinson's disease space alone. We monetize through existing reimbursement codes, which is why we aligned our FDA pathway to fit as a Class 2 de novo, and we can then save operational costs and have revenue streams additional. But on top of that, we also have interest from the pharmaceutical companies who pay premiums for things that they desperately need, like that improved patient screening, more objective data, and lowering the costs of recruitment. Beyond Parkinson's, though, we also have our proprietary IP that can enable rapid expansion into stroke, Huntington's, essential tremor, and other movement disorders, which multiplies our addressable market across multiple movement conditions. And we've already proven our market fit with almost 5,000 tests, 290 patients, and 5 global sites. We see clinicians saying that they believe it can save 10 to 15 minutes per appointment, while granular data can help with these more complex assessments. And our execution engine is already running. We have pilot data, our validation studies, and LOIs from top institutions in the US like UPenn, WashU, and more, and written confirmation from the FDA showing a clear supported route to market. Executed by a multidisciplinary team across AI, neuroscience, health tech leadership, and more, we're looking to push boundaries with the support of our founders and more as we raise our $2.5 million investment round. Welcome to Pregmaclin. Thank you so much.
Okay, well done, Brownon. Thank you for that great presentation. Where are we going next, Andrea?
Next up, we have Quidney Labs, Morteza.
All right, Kidney Labs is from Kitchener, Ontario. They participate in the Velocity program, LSpark, and the NATO Diana Accelerator. Looking forward to hear from Kidney Labs.
Thanks so much. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, but you're not in presentation mode at the moment, or at least.
Okay.
There
Is
you
that
go.
better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right,
Let's
perfect.
do it.
Awesome. Thanks so much. My name is Morteza Ahmadi. I'm the founder and CEO of Kidney Labs. We make the most accessible and sustainable dialysis technology in the world for millions of patients with kidney failure. This company can potentially save about 10 million lives every year, and we can save billions of liters of water at the same time. We're disrupting this market with a size of over $100 billion a year. When kidneys fail, patients have to go to a clinic or a hospital 3 times per week and stay attached to this fridge-sized machine for 4 hours at a time, watching their own blood in circulation in plastic tubes. There are about 3 million people in dialysis, and 10 million people don't have access to it. Access to dialysis requires and depends on availability of large quantity of ultra-pure water. You need about 120 liters of ultra-pure water for a session of dialysis. If that's not available, or if the water purification system is not available, the patient won't have access to dialysis. That's why we have developed this unique technology called Kidney with a Q/D. This is a portable, nearly waterless, and very cost-effective dialysis system. It only requires a few saline bags and a disposable kidney cartridge. Our system can be powered by rechargeable batteries. It's truly portable, meaning that people can travel with this. And there's also a cloud-based remote monitoring feature attached to it, so patients can communicate with nephrologists and nurses, and we can also monitor the treatment from long distance. The initial validation was done on fully nephrectomized sheep at the University of Guelph. The sheep in the middle of this photo is basically kidneyless. We have removed the kidneys from the animal, and then it was dialyzed for a number of days. So we did 2 sheep studies, one for 9 days and the other one for 11 days. This was covered by TechCrunch, and then we continued the validation through our first pilot clinical studies on 15 patients. So we dialyzed 15 patients with kidney failure using our machine. But what's more important is that it was done in our own clinic that was developed only in 1 week with a budget of less than $5,000. To give you an idea, normally kidney dialysis Clinics require $500,000 to $5 million to build. We're now raising a Series A. 70% of the funds have been committed and is already in the bank. And we are using the funds to generate all the data that's required for FDA submission and Health Canada submission for in-center dialysis approval of this technology. Thanks so much. Happy to connect after and answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Morteza. Great presentation, very cool technology, and congrats on making a long way towards filling out your round already. All right.
Next up, we have 9 Biotherapeutics, Philippe.
9 Bios from Quebec, and they have participated in both CDL and ADMARE. Looking forward to hear this presentation from Philippe. Go ahead. Philippe, are you there, or are you on mute?
My apologies. Again, rookie mistake. We'll try that again. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
you're
you.
looking good.
Okay, so try that again. My name is Philippe Gobet, and today I'm very pleased and honored to share with you 9 Biotherapeutics and how we're changing therapeutic options for patients with cancer. I want you to take a moment to consider Lucia. Last year, Lucia was diagnosed with an oropharyngeal cancer, and initially she responded well to first-line immunotherapy, but had to stop treatment because of serious side effects associated with that therapeutic option. She's not alone. Up to a third of patients stop therapy because of those side effects. And the reason for this is because targeted therapies engage in the tumor and elsewhere without distinguishing between the two, causing cell death and inflammation wherever they are active. The solution is to develop therapeutics that specifically engage in tumors. We have built an AI-guided computational platform that lets us to modify existing therapies so they engage only in tumors and not elsewhere. And as a result, we can reduce side effects and improve efficacy by improving bioavailability. But how can we take this platform and have a clinically and commercially impactful impact? The first application is to take proven therapeutics for which we know there's clinical impact and a known commercial validation and improve them because they have toxicities. So as an example of that, we're developing an improved version of an anti-PD-L1 molecule as an antibody drug conjugate. That is to say, as a chemotoxin delivery device. We've shown that we're able to reduce binding in healthy tissues by up to 124-fold. So if you consider Lucia for a moment and consider that this kind of drug might be applied to her, you have to ask yourself, would she have had to stop therapy with an application like this? So for this application, we think that the primary application or indications are muscle-invasive bladder cancer and liver cancers, for which there's a significant unmet need in the market. The second application is to consider drugs that have been to the clinic and have shown efficacy, so have been de-risked, but for which there is significant side effects associated with on-target, off-tumor binding. So there's a large number of therapeutics in this class. So if you can imagine what kind of impact we've had across that failed landscape, it can be very impactful not only for pharma companies, but also for patients. And here we're targeting head and neck and metastatic breast cancer with a significant market as well. Our IP covers composition of matter based on the mutations and changes we make to these therapeutics. So to date, we are raising $1.5 million, of which $500,000 is remaining. We have the support of a lead investor and even a strategic investment from Merck Global Health Initiative funds. I should mention that Merck is the #1 oncology developer and therapeutic provider globally. We're backed also by $2 million in non-dilutive funding, especially through grants, and we are using this for use of proceeds to develop our pipeline products, which are both the anti-PD-L1 ADC and the rescued ADC, as well as to expand our platform and support operations. Our impact, we think, will be our value inflection is primarily around efficacy and safety for our preclinical program for mice and our 2 programs. So we are led by myself and Enrique de Cavallo. Together, we have almost 30 years of experience in industry drug development, and we've taken 4 drugs from discovery to the clinic to commercial launches. We've even led programs that have been out-licensed to pharmaceutical organizations. We are supported by medical and scientific as well as business advisors. And with that, we want to return to Lucia for a moment. So if you consider that there's almost 500,000 patients like Lucia that suffer and succumb to head and neck cancer patients, head and neck cancer alone each year. We think we can have a very significant impact, and together we invite you to change that.
All right. Thank you, Philip, I should say. Gotta make sure I'm pronouncing it with the right emphasis.
All good. Thank you very much, Zach.
Well done. All right, Andrew, where are we going next?
Reach Orthopedics, Christina.
All right,
Hi,
Reach is from Halifax. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. If you're ready to go,
No,
just
go
go.
ahead. You can say more about me
you're
if you want
loaded up.
first.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Gowdy. I am co-founder and CEO of Reach Orthopedics, and we have developed a minimally invasive and joint-preserving shoulder implant for the treatment of massive irreparable rotator cuff tears, with a focus on the active middle-aged patient. What is about 40 to 70 for our terms. We're currently raising $1.5 million in the first tranche of our seed round to finance our first in-human study. It's estimated that nearly 10% of the general population over the age of 50 has a massive cuff tear. Based on prevalence, this has the potential to be a $2.6 billion market in the US alone. But massive cuff tears are difficult to treat, particularly in the middle-aged population. And it's because there's no agreed upon standard of care for this demographic. Solutions that do exist either improve function but don't last, or last but don't really improve function. They may be incredibly invasive, requiring joint removal, or require extensive soft tissue healing, which is often complicated by high incomplete healing and re-tear rates. Take, for example, Drew Brees. In 2006, he underwent shoulder surgery, including a partial cuff repair. 20 years later, and at the age of 46, Drew Brees can no longer throw with his right arm. At Reach Orthopedics, our solution is of a durable monoblock design, consisting of a subacromial spacer plate and a scapular fixation arm. The surgical procedure uses a minimally invasive approach, limiting both soft tissue healing and bone removal. Our implant design is simplistic but elegant and can be accessed by upper extremity and general orthopedic surgeons alike. We've demonstrated implant safety and efficacy in a lab setting. Not only does our shoulder implant restore shoulder balance, it improves function. Our team has over 100 years of combined experience, including surgeons and engineers that have dedicated their careers to treating upper limb maladies. Pre-commercial strategic partnerships and exit opportunities coincide with our clinical study endpoints. With anticipated launch in 2030, we plan to grow revenue to support an exit. Recent transactions in this space suggest an acquisition within the first 3 years of commercialization. A validating 15 orthopedic surgeons took part in our oversubscribed pre-seed round. And today, we're raising $1.5 million to complete our first tranche of our seed round, which will support our first in human. This will be followed by tranche 2 in the middle of 2026 to fund our clinical feasibility study. Focusing on the active middle-aged demographic, Reach Orthopedics is restoring shoulder function through the development of our minimally invasive and joint-preserving shoulder implant for the treatment of massive irreparable rotator cuff tears. And thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Christina. Well spoken. Well done. I'm really impressed with the quality of our presenters, the quality of the science, and the momentum many of you have on your rounds already. A really impressive group here. Now, Andrea, I believe it's time for a sponsorship shout out, isn't it?
Yeah, another sponsor shout out now.
All right, get ready for it. All right, let's talk about Accelerate Fund. This is a $15 million seed stage fund here in Alberta that matches angel investment into Alberta tech companies, including 8 companies that have raised money from Startup TNT. And they are also very active in our community. Yasmin from the Accelerate Fund recently participated in our peer-to-peer pitch practice to help the founders get ready for this very event. And our friends at BDC, they have also been a sponsor of ours since, I believe, 2020. They are the Entrepreneurs Bank. They finance your projects. They have technology leads across the entire country, helping founders access non-dilutive capital. In addition, they have a number of venture capital funds And we hope that one day, soon, it includes a life sciences fund. Stay tuned, maybe it will. And then finally, RBCX, another bank. It's a unique branch within RBC dedicated to supporting high growth tech companies. They provide early stage banking services to pre-seed and seed stage companies and support Series A plus companies to fulfill their financing needs. And they've been a sponsor of TNT for about 3 years now. Thank you to our friends at RBCX and all of our sponsors. Let's get back to the presentations.
So starting up after those messages, we got Tissue Tinker Bio, Benjamin.
All right, Tissue Tinker comes from Montreal. They've, I think, maybe set a record for the number of McGill incubator programs they've participated in. They've also participated in Front Row Ventures Women Founders Program and Centech. Take it away, Tissue Tinker.
Thanks for having me. Hi, I'm Ben. I'm one of the co-founders of Tissue Tinker Bio, supporting drug developers in creating tomorrow's therapies today using our human-centered, high-throughput cancer modeling platform. A new cancer drug candidate can take over 15 years to make it to market, if it ever even gets there at all. And currently, 97% of the time, it doesn't, and development fails during late-stage in-human trials, causing the pharmaceutical industry to invest almost $60 billion each year in efforts that never reach patients. And it's well known why these failures happen. The animal models we currently use for drug development are insufficient. Put very simply, a mouse is not a man, and the results animal models provide do not extrapolate out to diverse real-world patient populations. And despite these known issues, animal models have long been the gold standard for preclinical R&D. And for the first time, the FDA is now leading the charge through a series of policy changes that aim to reduce, refine, and now replace animal testing, signaling that the industry is ready to begin making a change. Here at Tissue Tinker, we are leveraging the power of bioprinting to revolutionize this emerging space. With our customizable tissue-specific bioinks and ready-to-print designs, drug developers can now print living, humanized tumors on demand. Using our platform, drug developers can 3D print hundreds of living tissue samples at just the push of a button, giving them fast results that allow them to make more confident go, no-go decisions early in the development process, helping them avoid late-stage clinical failures. And because our platform is compatible with cells from any source, our system can help stratify patient populations beginning in the very first steps of development. Through our patent-pending bioinks and our lab-friendly bioprinting system, we maintain true-to-life biology and growth without sacrificing throughput, flexibility, or integration with existing R&D workflows. Our bioprinting system is built for scalability, not just as we model more diseases, but also in response to new challenges and innovations, offering a truly plug-and-play customizable platform. Our platform is built to integrate directly into our users' laboratories immediately at launch, no FDA approval needed. Users will buy bioprinters, license our controller software and digital library of ready-to-print designs, and buy our proprietary bioinks, which they consume during their experiments. With the more translatable data provided by our system, we are addressing a $60 billion opportunity to cut ineffective R&D spending. Our approach lets Tissue Tinker play in a number of growing and intersecting multi-billion-dollar markets, and we have a competitive edge thanks to our patent-pending bioinks, which allow cells to grow naturally and self-assemble, and our pre-built approach to bioprinting, which supports bioprinting adoption and integration without the need for costly in-house experts. Our team is built for success with a highly technical foundation, with our founders having blended backgrounds in tissue engineering, machine learning, and medical technology startups. And we're looking for $500K in pre-seed funding, which we will further leverage with public sources to continue expanding our bioink library, develop our bioprinter prototype and digital library, and accelerate our commercial development so that we can help drug developers create tomorrow's therapies today. Thank you.
Well done, Benjamin. Hey, Benjamin, your presentation sparked what I hope might be a conversation starter in the chat. Maybe take a look at it. Someone asked me this question after looking at your pitch deck. So very interesting stuff happening at the FDA there. And you're at the cutting edge of addressing it. So Andrea, let's go to the next presentation.
Next presentation is Stoked Bio, Jeff.
All right, Stoked Bio's from Hamilton. They've participated in Creative Destruction Labs and The Forge. We're looking forward to hearing your presentation, Jeff.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Jeff Skinner, CEO of Stoked Bio. And if you're like me, you're tired of hearing how AI is going to solve all of our problems. And if you're in drug discovery, that hasn't been the case, as AI potential has not translated to success. There's lots of reasons for this: data quality and access. It's not available, and what is available is very biased. Biological complexity is simply too great for models to keep up with. And the tool first, biology second approach means that the outputs look great to begin with, but fall apart very quickly when it hits the crucible of living systems. What is required is a biology first approach to ensure that AI outputs are not just statistically valid, but biologically meaningful. And this is where Stoke Bio comes in with our internal and unique platform that we've dubbed Mosaic, which is AI used properly as just a step in a biology-driven process that we're using to create an internal pipeline of novel therapeutics against resistant diseases. That pipeline today looks like this, although we're hoping to expand it. And our two areas of focus are cancer and infectious diseases, with recurrent glioblastoma being our lead cancer indication for a deadly brain cancer, and E. coli being our lead antibiotic that we're developing. And we've developed animal data to support the theory that the model can predict therapeutics at work. Stoke Bio is building a portfolio to reduce the risk and multiply revenue opportunities. And if you're like a lot of investors, when I said drug discovery, your eyes glazed over because you hear the $2 billion and the 15 years, but that isn't our business model. We want to generate near-term revenue through licensing in the preclinical stage. And that starts with creating with the Mosaic, developing for 2 or 3 years internally for a data package, and then partnering with pharmaceutical companies to generate revenue and return to the shareholders or reinvest. We don't want to wait until the 9th inning, hit a grand slam. We want to hit singles and doubles early in the game, drive up the score, and win that way. To support this, we're raising $3 million in equity raise. We have $500,000 committed with another $800,000 in soft commitment. The terms are preferred share with a pre-money of $7.5 million. We have $500,000 in non-dilutive grants and an ongoing program to source another $1 million over the next year. And that funding provides a run rate to 2028 for our first revenue generating partnership. Team to do this, we're building this out. We have John Stokes, the scientist, and Chris Sinclair, the CFO. And a successful entrepreneur. Myself, I have 25 years in Canadian biotech and pharma, and then we've added some oomph on the board with Jordy Stewart and Brent Norton. But what really isn't what we're excited about are our advisors, and we've added them specifically for the areas of focus. John Lewis, founder and CEO of Entos Pharma for corporate development. John DeGroot and Sheila Singh, experts in glioblastoma. Jerry Wright and Matthew Miller, experts in infectious diseases. And Jake Magellan, who's an expert in medicinal chemistry to help us change the chemical into a compound. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jeff. And I can't help but notice that John Lewis reference, based here in Edmonton, and one of his companies has raised money at one of these life sciences summits. And actually, some of the Nanostics team is here today.
And I see Des on the line.
Yeah, Des is here on the call. All right, very well done.
Next up, we have Tantum Bioscience, Julie.
Tantum is from Sherbrooke, and they are graduates of Career Destruction Lab, AdMare, and Mars. Looking forward to your presentation, Julie.
So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity of being here. So I'm going to present you today how Tantum Bioscience is revolutionizing cancer care with our bioengineered nanofilament-directed immunotherapy. So there's a large unmet need in immuno-oncology where up to 80%, 80% of patients won't respond to blockbuster immunotherapy or checkpoint inhibitors. This is not sustainable neither for patients nor for families. This highlights the needs for the next generation of immunotherapy to do more than block. It really must orchestrate the entire anti-tumor immune response. At Tantum, that's what we've built. We've built the orchestrator of the anti-tumor immune response. It's very simple. We engineer DNA and bacteria produces our nanofilament. Nanofilaments are basically multi-specific biologics that coordinate immune responses to unlock response rate. It has several activities, among which a cancer cell anchor and immunomodulators, and 2 other immunomodulatory properties. But really, how does that work? Well, we take our nanofilament and we inject it intratumorally into the patients. The nanofilament will then decorate cancer cells, revealing them to the immune system. Those nanofilaments will teach the immune cells to attack cancer cell and recognize tumor antigen, basically the tumor identity. Those immune cells will now search for tumor antigens throughout the body of the patient and eliminate tumors, providing the patient with a long-term vaccine protection that prevents relapse. We demonstrated the superiority of our nanofilament and lead candidate TAT3 against current standard of care, Roche atezolizumab, which is an anti-PD-L1 checkpoint inhibitors. As you can see here, with atezolizumab, we only have 15% complete responder in our mice model, compared to 100% complete responder in our group treated with our nanofilament. This has also been validated on several cancer models. To also demonstrate the systemic and long-lasting vaccine type of response, we kept those cured mice for 6 months. We rechallenged the mice by re-injecting the same cancer cells. As you can see in the red group, which is the naive mice, when we inject the cancer cell, tumor grows as expected. But when we inject cancer cell in the previously cured mice, the tumors start to grow in blue, but then are quickly eliminated with 100% protection, which is provided by TAT3-induced anti-tumor vaccine response 6 months prior to that. Those nanofilaments will enable Tatum Bioscience to reach the immuno-oncology market, which is a massive market thought to more than triple by 2030, with checkpoint inhibitor patents expiring by 2032, which highlights and create really a momentum and highlights the fact that pharma companies will need new blockbuster in their pipeline. Overall, I will let you with that. Tatum is not just another biotech companies. It's developing a first-in-class synthetic biology platforms with a round that's already oversubscribed with 3.6 million Canadian dollars. We will reach a massive market of 150 billion with IND plan for 2027, phase 1 readout for 2030, and a potential for a massive exit. We are not just building a product, we're building a pipeline, a partnership engine, and creating a new standard for immuno-oncology. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Great presentation. All right, let's keep it going, Andrea. Someone just pointed out we're a little bit behind schedule. Let's not dilly-dally.
Yeah, we got Padma next with Scope Sys. Maybe tell me how to say that properly. I hope I did it right.
Yeah, Scope Sys.
Scope Sys is from Vancouver and a graduate of Creative Destruction Lab. Take it away, Padma.
Is it coming through fine? Presentation
Yeah, you are
notes?
looking good.
Good. My name is Padma Kardukula, and I am the CEO of Scope Sys. We are an analytical tools company delivering deep data, tapping into a multi-billion-dollar drug analytics market. Today, drug discovery is very complicated and requires deep characterization data. This is where the traditional tools fall short because they provide population averages and static measurements. The ScopeSys platform provides multi-parametric, quantitative, real-time data and insights at multiple levels, molecules, particles, cells. And these correlate very well with the desirable drug properties. We also provide data that will fuel the AI ML algorithms for AI-enabled drug design. The technology is called convex lens-induced confinement, or CLIC, and it is a single molecule imaging technology. On the left-hand side, you see that embodiment, which is essentially an attachment that sits on a microscope, transforming the microscope to a high-powered one. In the middle is the novelty, where you will squeeze or gently confine your biological material, cells, or particles, so that in nanospaces, so that you can observe them at much higher resolution and for long periods of time. We have multiple patents with exclusive licenses and over 25 CLIC-related publications. Now, with this technology, ScopeSys is ready to scale. We have established product market fit with multiple top pharma companies with whom we have done contract service projects, and we have ongoing partnerships. ScopeSys is revenue generating since 2021, and we have also enjoyed grant funding for the technology. The product map is here. As I said, from 2021, we have been engaging in contract service projects, which has been our main revenue stream. For the future, we are looking to launch 2 instruments, the Scope Top in 2027 and the Scope Omni in 2029. Both of these instruments will come with application-specific consumables that you see here. The goal for ScopeSys is to have multiple revenue streams through contract services, instruments, consumables. For market competition, the CLIC platform transcends microscopy, nanoparticle analysis, and molecular interactions, closing their gaps and going beyond their analytical capabilities. The tables here show how we do against these different technologies. For fundraising, we are looking to raise $4 million in seed round. The first $1 million is mostly committed for, which we are looking to close in September. And the funds will be used towards product development, the ScopeTop instrument, developing a commercial team to launch these instruments, and building out facilities. I will close with our executive team here, who is experienced both on the technical front and on the commercial and business front. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Padma. Andrea, I believe it's time for our final commercial break. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
final commercials.
All right, last but not least, let's hear it for one of our close friends, KRP. It's one of Edmonton's local independent full-service accounting firms that's been supporting Startup TNT since 2019, or since 2020, excuse me. And they've been supporting our broader startup community since they were founded in 1945. Thank you for your service, KRP, and helping all of our founders. They help us with some of our accounting needs. And finally, the U of C, University of Calgary's Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurship. It's a dynamic community center dedicated to fostering student entrepreneurship, empowering faculty innovation, and building a network of entrepreneurial minds. Some of their students support our due diligence process as volunteers throughout the year in some of our summits. So with that, we're going to go back to the presentations. Although, Andrea, I just got a request, and I confirmed with the speakers they were okay with it, to do a little switcheroo here. One of our speakers has a conflict, and we're running a little bit late. So Focus Technologies has requested to go next, so we'll put them at the top of the next block, Andrea.
Okay, let's give it over to Focus Technologies. Oh
Hello.
goodness, please pronounce your first name. I'm
Sadek. It's Sadek
thank you.
Raisi.
This is a hard job I got to do all the
I
pronunciations.
have one of those hard names. Also wanted to thank Zach for accommodating this. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Take it away, Sadek.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot. Sadek Raisi, co-founder and CEO at Focus Technologies, where we are using AI and quantum technologies to speed up MRI. MRI is the gold standard of medical imaging, but unfortunately, there is an access issue. It starts with the fact that each scan takes about 30 minutes, which limits the throughput to about 2 patients per hour. In the US, that means that we have about 40 million a year capacity. How many do you think we need? We need about 120 million scans a year. So there is a huge gap in there. The way we address that is by reducing that scan time. That would increase the throughput and would enable the existing MRI machines to meet that demand. How do we do this? This is a software solution that integrates into the existing MRI platforms, so you don't need to change your hardware or pipeline. It all just builds into what you already have. Here I have 2 images that are practically identical. The only difference is that the one on the left is an image that is generated with our software from scans that are 4 times faster. So 4 times faster, same quality. And this has been validated by radiologists. We have received our FDA clearance, we have a Health Canada approval, and we also have completed a successful pilot study on this. This enables hospitals to do a lot more MRI scans. With really conservative estimates, they would be able to do at least 100 more scans per month, and that would bring them an additional revenue of $40K per month. And we're charging $10K per month for the subscription to the software. To put that into perspective, $10K, 12 months, that's $120K, and there are 50 MRI machines around the world, so that's $6 billion a year in recurring revenue, total addressable market. Our first product is only doing brain. We would expand that to full body, but right now we're only doing brain, so that's about 1/3 of the market, and we're projecting to get to $500 million within the first few years. Of course, we do have competition, but we offer higher acceleration rates compared to our competition and better image quality. And these all have been made possible with our amazing team and with the support of our investors and our partners. We are opening a new round of fundraising to raise $5.5 million. And this is going to get us to pass 1 million in recurring revenue and develop our next version, which would be the full body product. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabe.
Next presenter up is Louis Philippe with Suricura Nanotherapeutics, Inc.
Yeah, we put the toughest ones pronounced at the end here, Andrea.
Yes, you did.
Suricura from Vancouver, graduates of Creative Destruction Lab, the Entrepreneurship Hub at UBC, and the Life Sciences Investor Readiness Program at Life Sciences BC. Welcome, Louis Philippe.
All right, well, nice to meet you, everyone. So I'm Louis-Philippe Bernier. I'm CEO of Suricura Nanotherapeutics, and we're a biotech developing novel RNA nanomedicines to treat patients with brain diseases. So to do this, our team brings together decades of experience in neuroscience and nanomedicine drug development and biotech business development as well. The problem that we're tackling at Suricura is basically how to deliver therapeutic proteins to the brain. So these proteins that are called biologics, they're a growing class of medicines because of their specificity, their safety, their efficacy. But delivering them to the brain has been a longstanding challenge due to the presence of the blood-brain barrier that prevents biologics from reaching the brain. So our solution at Suricura uses RNA therapeutics to essentially instruct a subset of brain cells into becoming protein factories to produce and secrete the proteins from within the brain itself, so from inside the blood-brain barrier. So we can achieve brain-wide distribution of therapeutic proteins for a sustained duration. And the best part of our approach is versatility. So it's not just one drug, it's really a plug-and-play system that we can adapt into multiple drugs. So by simply modifying the RNA in our product, we can use the same brain-optimized LNP, target the same cells, and have these cells deliver virtually any secretory protein that has therapeutic value. So our proof of concept data shows that our strategy really works as intended. So we can deliver many different candidate proteins with a wide distribution in the brain at concentrations that are above an expected therapeutic range for multiple days, and we know that it is safe as well. So we've done a lot of studies in mouse and rats already. And although we have a platform technology, our passion is really to develop therapeutics. So in the brain, there's really no shortage of opportunities with large markets to do that. So for instance, we can replace dysfunctional enzymes in rare genetic disorders. We can promote regeneration after injuries like stroke. We can even prevent degeneration in Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, for example. So in our lead therapeutic proof of concept program right now, we're developing a first-in-class therapy for neuronopathic Gaucher disease, which is a rare and fatal disorder with currently no standard of care and with a clear commercial and regulatory path for our company. So to date, we've raised just under $5 million in both combined non-dilutive and dilutive capital, mostly non-dilutive, which we use to optimize the platform itself, together with a few Canadian tech development partners out there. We're currently raising $1.5 million to accelerate our lead program up to candidate nomination prior to IND-enabling studies, to de-risk the platform with large animal validation, and to expand our pipeline of discovery programs as well. And in late 2026, we'll target a larger race to advance our lead program into clinical trials by late 2028. And so this is much more than a drug. It's really a transformative modality that could change the way we treat brain diseases. We have an efficient R&D platform that is tunable, safe, scalable, but importantly, we have the only modality that can deliver therapeutic proteins to the brain with the right distribution and for the right duration. So to close, I will reiterate that we're raising $1.5 million. It's a priced round that will close in just over 1 month, with already over 90% of it secured. So please do reach out if you want to join us in our mission to change the landscape of brain therapeutics. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis Philippe. Excellent presentation. Okay, we've only got 2 more left, Andrea.
Yeah, we got
let's do it.
Co Poly, Peru.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Peru. Kopali has graduated from the OBio programming and the Altitude Accelerator. So thank you, Peru. Refer to us from our friends at OBio. Take it away.
That's right. Thanks for having us. Again, my name is Piru. I am the co-founder and CSO of Kopali. So I think it's no secret to anyone here that cancer is most treatable when it's caught early. Yet, with 9.3 million cases each year globally, over 50% of these cancer cases are diagnosed too late. And the current methods that we have for screening or detection, such as imaging, tissue biopsies, or liquid biopsies, are just not efficient. They're either invasive, they're too expensive, or they miss early stage disease entirely. So we urgently need a better solution. And that's why we developed our platform called OncoSage. OncoSage is a simple blood-based test that's powered by AI. We use a novel biomarker, unlike anyone else, called platelet cells. And you may be familiar with these cells. These are part of the immune system. With this platform, what we can do is provide non-invasive, cost-effective, and scalable cancer detection that can identify stage 1 and stage 2 cancers. And you can see our performance metrics on the right-hand side here. And importantly, OncoSage detects cancers at the earliest stages, allowing for effective treatment and increasing patient survival. So how does it work? Well, we take a standard blood collection, about 8 to 10 mils. From there, we isolate the platelet cells. And from the platelets, we isolate the tumor material. And we sequence this on a sequencing panel. And the results go into our proprietary AI model, which has been built with over 7,400 individual patient samples. And because these platelets are surveilling your body and taking in all the tumor material that they encounter, they become educated. We call them tumor-educated platelets. And our AI models can recognize these signatures, and we can identify cancer type, subtype, and stage at high accuracy. OncoSage can detect multiple cancers with high accuracy, but we're focusing first where the need is the greatest, which is lung cancer. And we have some studies to back this up, one completed and one ongoing. On the left-hand side is a study that we did with biobank data consisting of over 1,400 individual patient samples. And importantly here, OncoSage identified 99% of all the stage 1 and stage 2 lung cancer cases. And on the right-hand side, this is an ongoing study that we have with a large Ontario hospital. And so far, we've tested 13 out of 200 early-stage lung cancer patients, as well as some additional controls. And so far, OncoSage has identified 100% of these early-stage cases. So this gives us the confidence to launch OncoSage commercially. And of course, it's a global market, but we're going to start in Canada. And to do this, the path is clear. We're going to complete the clinical study at this Ontario-based hospital, and then we're going to apply for the regulatory approvals that we need, which is actually a lower barrier to entry because we're first targeting an investigational use only test in Canada. This will allow us to launch commercially early next year. And then we can initiate a large clinical trial and then go for the full FDA and Health Canada approval down the road. We have an amazing partner network that has enabled this growth so far. And between the three co-founders, including myself, we have over 35 years of experience in the biopharma and AI fields. We've worked at academia, large biotech, and pharma, and now we're holding all of these skills and knowledge and connections within our networks to build OncoSage because we believe cancer doesn't discriminate and neither should the solution. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Piru. Great presentation. We're on to our final presentation now, Andrea.
Yeah, it's Daniel from Afero Medical.
All right, certainly last but not least, Daniel's from London and a graduate of Creative Destruction Lab, the Tech Alliance, the Bionex Incubator, and Innovate. Welcome.
Excellent. Hello, thanks for the introduction. Daniel Gelman, CEO of Afero Medical, and our breakthrough technology, robotic technology, is set to transform cardiac ablation forever. Atrial fibrillation is the most common heart rhythm disorder, and it leaves tens of millions of people with a heightened risk of stroke. My mom is a retired nurse who underwent 2 failed catheter ablations and still struggles with the disease today. Her story reflects a more broader issue. 1 in 3 ablations fail, leading to hundreds of thousands of repeat procedures costing billions. In this procedure, a catheter is used to ablate dozens of targets in the heart to restore normal function. But as the heart beats and the patient breathes, the catheter becomes unstable, cutting success rates by at least 20% and adding tens of thousands of dollars to every case. Passive techniques are used to improve stability, but today, half of patients are still treated with an unstable catheter. We're solving this with our patented robotic tool called TrueContact. It's a first of its kind, engineered to provide on-demand catheter stability. TrueContact attaches to off-the-shelf catheters and uses AI to automatically move the catheter to anchor it onto its ablation target. Using TrueContact is simple. The physician still navigates to targets in the heart, activates TrueContact, and ablates. Shown in these MRI images, unstable catheters leave gaps along ablation lines that lead to a treatment failure, but TrueContact produces larger, deeper, more uniform lines, maximizing ablation efficiency. It integrates with existing catheter systems and allows physicians of any skill level to deliver the best ablation every time. We've secured partnerships with the leading electrophysiology companies to market TrueContact to their global users. Multiple strategics create urgency, since TrueContact gives superior ablation efficiency, driving their bottom line. Every year, 1.5 million procedures are performed worldwide, creating a serviceable market of over $1 billion annually. With a flexible razor blade model, we'll sell directly in North America and use distributors globally. We'll conduct post-market trials to establish TrueContact as standard of care, while working with our strategics to bolster our marketing efforts. Our team includes Dr. Alan Skeins, Canadian EP Director, and Shlomo Shpoon, a former medical officer at both J&J and at Abbott. And our advisors include Chris Shaw of Baylis, and our partnerships with elite clinical institutions across North America and form our team. We're raising $4 million to finalize our design, clinical validation, and secure FDA approval. With commitments already in place and over $1 million in non-dilutive funds, we're open to terms and are seeking a lead investor. Now, EP stands as the top revenue driver for hospitals across the United States today. And as an investor, Affero is where you want to be. Join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. And that's a wrap for all 21 pitches, Andrea. We got through it. We took a little bit extra time, but they were really incredible pitches. In fact, I'd like to share a live testimonial I got as a private message from one of our investors who says, this is an incredible crop of companies. And there's already others that were incredible that we cut from this process. We need a bigger boat. So the investors have work to do over the next few weeks, going into diligence with all these deals, learning about these founders and making decisions. I hope many of you can join us live in person on September 24th, where the top 5 will present again, and we'll be making some final investment decisions.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough race, Zach.
It's absolutely going to be a tough race. Yeah, Alex Cote just posted there. He's from Medeer AI. Very interesting company. There were just too many interesting companies for us to include in our top 20. That's how life goes. But anyways, I want to thank everyone for coming out today. And before we say goodbye, I want to give a really big thank you to our 2 interns, George and Marco, who've been working tirelessly behind the scenes. They did everything behind the scenes to make this event go really, really smooth. Also, a shout out to Jonah, our operations team, who did all the work to set this up, and our new executive director, CK Dalawal, who I knew is tuning in to check this event out. Thank you, CK. Thank you, Andrea. And listen, if you want to join us after the event tonight, come by Pub 1905 if you're based in Edmonton. If you're based in Calgary, MH Combiotic and TNT Summit winner Nimble are pitching at Calgary tonight in an event hosted by Halo Health. We don't have happy hours in every city across Canada. Stay tuned. Hopefully that will happen soon. But thanks everyone for coming. Have a great evening, and we will see you soon.
Bye, everyone.